My name is Timothy Downin. I've been a practicing attorney with the Public Defender of Marion County for just about 5 years now. I've done a lot of different things, worked in a lot of kitchens. My work history starts in 1991 at a radio station in Alaska. Spent about 16 years moving back and forth between Alaska and Florida until I got stuck in Florida at 16 and moved out to Oregon in 2008. Public defense, in my opinion, is the most important facet of the legal profession because we are the ones who step in for people who have no money and are charged with a crime. Everybody in our country has the right to a public defender if they cannot afford to have effective legal representation. And whenever your liberty rights are at issue, or collateral consequences for that matter, once you have a conviction on your record, you have problems getting housing, you have problems getting jobs, and for a lot of people that kind of spirals their life out of control. So in my mind, the best way to prevent adverse social problems is to afford somebody every opportunity they have to fight the possibility of a conviction at the time that that happens, rather than after it's happened and you're trying to clean things up. A lot of people find themselves with not a whole lot of understanding about our legal system, and it is absolutely important that somebody has an attorney to help navigate that process. The hardest part of being a public defender is seeing how unequal our system is. I raised a family of 5 with my wife for less than $40,000 a year before I started my legal profession, and even up until that point, I think we were lucky to have made more than $30,000 for a lot of those years. So I understand what it means to not have a whole lot of money. I understand what it means to not have a whole lot of education. I went back to school to finish my 4-year degree at 32 years old. So I get where people are when they're young and charged with a crime. So the hardest thing to see is people who don't have any money, don't have any education, get wrapped up in the system and don't know what to do about it. Oftentimes the overwhelming weight of pressure against an individual is so great that it forces them to, well, it makes them believe they are forced to take a plea rather than take their cases to trial. And when people get first charged with misdemeanors, that's typically the way that they are indoctrinated into our legal system. People don't understand what to do, and they don't understand that a misdemeanor conviction will often snowball into much more serious convictions later on down the road. So it is very difficult to see people go through that, and it's also very important to be able to be there for support for that person. I believe a holistic defense model is the most appropriate model because we are dealing with people who have no resources. We are dealing with people who have no money, often have no housing, often have children. There's often a lot of moving parts within their lives. Whether it's immigration consequences, whether it is domestic relations issues that we deal with, whether it's protective order proceedings. It makes sense to me to be able to give people support in more than just dealing with their criminal charge. There's often many things that go along with those criminal charges when people pick them up, and it, in my mind, is most important to be able to help them with all those ancillary issues to the best we can.